Good morning, beautiful people. I hope you are all doing well. Thank you very much for your kind responses to my movie of yesterday, in which I was talking about applauding criminals, applauding the bad guys. And some of you thought that was a bit too much, too tall an order, unrealistic, and, not a very good idea to applaud people who intentionally want to hurt other people. But I like to look at life from the highest possible perspective. I was thinking of Michelangelo, who once said, "The problem with most people is not that they aim too high and miss, but that they aim too low and succeed." So if we are all aspects of God, or to put it another way, if we are God, then it makes no sense to aim too low. If we are God, then we are capable of anything. And if we look at life from that highest perspective, then it makes sense to, be happy and thrilled and grateful and appreciative of every aspect of life, because it is our creation. So even the bad guys and the villains are part of our creation. And if we say that that is bad, then we deny an aspect of ourselves. And that is not a good idea if you want to become whole. So it's all part of us. And we can only let go this artificial duality that we are in if we become friends with every aspect of life. And ultimately that means that we applaud every aspect of life. And I truly think that before we take on a human form, that we choose different roles that we want to play. And we also ask others to play roles in our lives. And if we want to learn unconditional love, if we want to become like God again, godly, divine, then we need a counterpart to show us, or to challenge us to really get into that mode. And so we need people to play that role. But as I said yesterday, hopefully that is only possible when we look at it from the highest perspective. It's time now for us to move on, to understand this game, and also to become a little bit bored of this game, like, are we going to play that role again, Aren't we sort of ready for a next step in humanity? And I think we can only evolve to that next step of our evolutionary process when we become aware of the step that we are in now, the roles that we are playing, the duality that we keep on going, and then we can move on. But we can only move on when we see the game, we understand the game, and we are happy that we have played that game. As long as there is resistance, we will not move on. And so I like to look at things from that highest perspective, sitting on the chair of God. It helps to aim high. And it's like, sometimes when we do something and we are afraid to do it, and we think, well, what's the worst that can happen, well, the very worst. And then when there's a scenario, you go like, well, even if the very worst happens, it's not that bad, even if you die, it's just the body, that dies. It's not you. You go on living, nothing ever really stops. So sometimes that can really help to venture boldly into a next step. And in the same way, looking at the worst, it can also help to look at the very best, like look at it from the highest perspective. And that's why I posted that movie yesterday about applauding villains. So I hope that clears up a little bit questions you might have had. And I also hope that it challenges you to look at life from that higher perspective and to stop underestimating yourself and others, because we are capable of anything. Just look around, and we are the living proof of that. We can do anything. And so my suggestion would be aim high. Thank you very much for listening. My name is Tijn. I'm from Amsterdam, and I'm very grateful for the opportunity to speak to you. And I wish you a beautiful day with lots of high aims.